overall makeup of this roster and what's really stood out to you so far through preseason practice?
Yeah, it's different times. You're going to have turnover, I think, on everybody's roster, regardless of whether you have seniors or what you have coming back. A lot of kids are going to go into portal or whatever, so we signed a bunch of new guys. I think we were lucky to find a bunch of guys that are very close quickly, and I think that's a personality thing that we kind of looked for as when we were recruiting them. So probably one thing that sticks out the most is that we're just pretty close as a group, it seems so far.
Coach, you're in year 20 of your time here at VSU. Can you just talk about what that means for you to get to year 20 and season here as a Blazer?
Well, I'm appreciative of Valdosta State having me for that long. Sometimes longevity in this profession is really a sign that you've been successful or have contributed positive things to the university. And for me, I'm happy to be here. Like, I bleed Valdosta State, so I just love Valdosta State. I love being here. I love the people. I love this level of basketball. Some people might say, hey, would you want to go to Division I? I like Division II. I've liked it ever since I've been in it, and I hope to continue.
Coach, in an era of a portal where you feel like you've got to sign guys, like you were talking about with the chemistry, these guys, how much of a crapshoot can that be as a coach, even when you're trying to evaluate guys, when you're trying to evaluate their culture fit? So much of basketball and what folks do on the floor is chemistry. What sort of predicament does that put you in as a coach?
Well, I don't think any coach is probably going to tell you the truth. It's really, really difficult because, everybody that you talk to when you recruit somebody is trying to help that kid. And so they're going to speak positively, and you're going to emphasize, what they do best, and they want them to come here, and we want them to come here. So you got to try to look between the lines, and so to speak, and just do a lot of research and then spend time with them when they're here on their visits. And to tell you that you're going to get it right 100% of the time would be lying. For any coach in America, probably any sport, you're trying to do your best to find kids that you believe in and that you can sell them on your vision and do it together.
And could you just talk about some of those additions that you made in the offseason and what you're hoping they're going to bring to the table this season?
Yeah, and I think I always like to start first, like with our returners. Braxton and JC, probably had opportunities that they could have gone in the portal and had some success and find a place to go to. With those two guys coming back, I thought it was just a great starting point. They are good players. They are tremendous human beings. And then we got lucky in a kid we recruited before, Carlos Hart, who played right over here at South Georgia State, was a great player for them, went to New Orleans, wanted to come back. He's from Miami, wanted to be in this part of the country. So, without getting into too many of the new guys, we were fortunate enough to kind of get some guys that we had recruited maybe 2 years ago that ended up coming back to us. And I think you're going to see that happen more as all teams go on.
How is important, I know last year you talked about pushing the tempo and starting off fast. How important is that you're instilling that this year going into the years?
Well, if last year was fast, we are on jets this year. So we're going to play way faster. For me personally, I believe the game is meant to be played, and we have not been as fast as I would like to be. We were skilled, we had multiple positions, bigger guys. I just wanted to get maybe a little bit faster from top to bottom, and that's something that we try to really research in our recruiting, is find guys that can play that 100-point game, 110-point game if we can.
Guys just ready to play someone who's not wearing red and black at this point?
Yeah, you get to start a little earlier. It's not more practices, but you get to start 35 days and you get 25 practices. So you are at that point where you get used to guarding the same person or playing against the same person. You can get complacent, and you might not be able to reach your potential by going against somebody that you already know what they do. So doing it against somebody else is going to be important.
If you can describe the team in one word, what would it be?
Close. I think we're very close. And I don't mean that just on the court, off the court, in the locker room, in the hallways, in the offices. They're just close. It's just a close-knit group. And I think there's some luck when you bring a lot of new guys in for that to happen. And maybe that falls apart as the season goes along, but I don't think it's going to. You can kind of tell, I see my kids getting along. We're in a good spot, So I think close is a good word.
You got the chemistry, you got the speed. Where do you still want to see this team grow?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got some, I think in today's world, you got to challenge yourself and you got to play as hard as you can every single minute. I think in any sport, any coach with any team is trying to get his kids to play or get their kids to play at the highest level that they can for consistently long periods of time. If you can do that as a coach, you got a chance, I think, especially if you get talented kids to play up there, man, you really have a chance.
Coach was talking about how fast you guys are running up and down the floor. Do you feel that in practice? Do you feel this team getting quicker?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely like more faster than it was last year, because last year we was like very slow paced, but this year we just like uphill running. So just try to get out as much as we can, tire teams out as fast as we can because we're used to the system.
How much does that come down to good conditioning?
A lot. It comes down to it a lot because you got to be in like very good shape in order to play this system we're playing, and I think we got a lot of guys that's ready to play the system.
Lots of fresh faces on this team, but Coach Helfer really, really liked how it seems like everybody's able to gel together. And have you kind of sensed that chemistry just throughout practice on and off the court?
Oh yes, sir. Definitely. We gotten better. We like a lot of guys just going out enjoying time with each other, bonding. So it's a lot more connection than it was last year.
In a game like basketball, just how important is that?
It's very important, because if you're not together, then it won't work out. So you got to have all guys together on the court, and they're on the court at the same time.
Could you talk about some of the things that maybe y'all done on and off the court to build that chemistry throughout the off season?
Really on the court, we just try to keep each other up, as much as we can. Even on the bad things, just try to lift each other up as much. But in the off season, we had this thing called, Friday where we do Fun Friday as a team. We bond a lot and do a lot of activities. We play pickleball, pool. We did all the types of things. So doing that stuff, I felt like gave us, that relationship with everybody on the team.
Who's the best pickleball player?
Me. Me.
What have you seen from your fresh faces on the team? Who are you most excited to start playing with this year?
Definitely Carlos, MJ, and Drew. I feel like they're gonna have a big year this year, so I'm ready to play with them as much as I can.
For the new and fresh faces that come in and, someone that's been here a while, what do you say to them, especially when we, start the season, playing in the type of environment like the complex for the first time? What do you say to them, especially in, close games and heated moments?
Really, just play your hardest. This is a tough league we're in, so just try to tell them, play as hard as you can. Just be ready for the moment. Don't shy away from anything. So just be ready to go.